Welcome. Let's talk about Friday, April 12th NHL playoff games. All the following teams are playing the second time in their respected series, starting with Columbus and Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh and New York, St. Louis and Winnipeg, and Vegas and San Jose. Let's first start off with the Blue Jackets versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Columbus takes this 5-1. They're up 2-0 in the series right now. To wrap this up, really, Tampa Bay is, one, Cooper's getting outcoached by Tortorella. Second, Tampa Bay has just forgotten how to play defense from their D perspective, and as a team defensive unit, they're just positionally out of position all the time. They're getting beat to pucks. They're getting outworked in the corners. Their star players have not been their star players. They're not getting on the point board at all. And Kucherov might be suspended for the next game because of a head hit that happened late in the game as well. So their biggest point scorer might be gone for Game 3. So that's scary when you might be going down 3-0. Now, this is not to take anything away from Columbus. But you remember last season against the Washington Capitals, Columbus was up 2-0 and then blew that series and lost. I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but if there's any team that can come back, it is Tampa. Not the way they're playing, but what can I say about the Blue Jackets? They showed us just before the regular season ended how they were sort of coming together. Not just the goaltending, but the new players that they acquired. And they're really looking like they're gelling. Let's start talking about some of the stats, starting with goaltending. Bobrovsky gets the win. Saved 23 of 24 shots with a .958 save percentage. He's been awesome. The loss goes to Vasilevsky, who saved 22 of 27 with a .815 save percentage. He looks like he's starting to lose his confidence, and maybe, he could have had a couple of those goals. He's definitely not his elite self. And I know he's been getting no help from his D or, his team for that matter. But he's definitely got to up his game in this one. Team stats. Face-offs were 33-27 for Tampa Bay. Power play. Tampa goes 0 for 2. Here's what I'm talking about on the special teams. And then Columbus goes 2 for 4 on the power play. So not only can Tampa not score on theirs, but they're letting in on those on the penalty kill. That's got to be an issue. And again, I keep bringing it up, but last season their penalty kill was their downfall because going into the playoffs, it was one of the worst in the league, and they seem to have fixed that. By being number 1 this season. Anyways, hits 37-17 for Tampa Bay. Shots were 27-24 for Columbus. Columbus spent a lot of time in Tampa's zone. In Tampa, it was hard for Tampa even to get through the neutral zone because Columbus was playing the 1-2-2 trap system. And the only way you're going to beat that really is throw the puck up in the air, dump it in, and go get it. Put your hard hat on. So these guys got to start working. Let's start going through the scoring here really quick. First goal, Atkinson scores it, assisted by Duchesne. Then go ahead 2-0 by a goal of Werenski off the power play, assisted by Duchesne, who gets his second point of the game already. 2 apples. Then we move into the second period. Duchesne gets his third point of the game on the power play, assisted by Panarin and Werenski, who gets his second point of the game. And then third period, Tampa has awoken. Not by their first 2 lines, mind you, but they get on the board nonetheless. Sergachev, the defenseman, gets his first goal of the playoffs, assisted by Miller and Cernak. I want to say that's the third line. I was cycling the puck, and so on and so forth. So the rest of the team's got to look at that example and follow suit. So Tampa had a little hope there for a second, and then Columbus just stamped it out. Because Nash scored next to make it 4-1, assisted by Jenner. And then the final nail in the coffin was scored by Panarin, who got his second point of the evening, first in the playoffs, assisted by Duchesne, gets his 4th point of the night. He had an awesome night. Bjorkstrand also assisted on that goal. The stars of the game, obviously all Columbus Blue Jackets, starting with number 1 was Matt Duchesne, who got a goal, 3 apples for 4 points, was a +2, and just played over 16 minutes of ice time. That's like high third line minutes, low second line minutes, I want to say. Second star, they're rolling all their lines, is what Tortorella is doing, and it's working. I thought Derek Ryan scored today. Maybe that was a different Derek Ryan. Any case, Werenski got the second star of the night. He got a goal and an assist. He also had 5 penalty minutes. He had a Gordie Howe hat trick in this game. He was a +1, and he played over 22 minutes in the game. Then the third star goes to Nash. There we are. Yeah, I always mix up my Nashes because there's a Nash that came from Boston last year who was their third line center, and there's another Nash. I think this is the Nash from Boston who got this goal. And a funny story happened with him too. He was a +1 and he played just over 11 minutes in ice time. But at some point, Hedman, the defenseman for Tampa Bay, came over to the Columbus, towards the end of the game, came over to the Columbus bench, near the bench, and was kind of jib-jabbering and talking smack with a few other players. And Derek Ryan happened to be, one of those players just casually sitting on the bench, and he's yelling at them that look what happened when you were up 2 games last year. How did that series end? And Derek Ryan kind of looks at Hedman, looks at the rest of the Blue Jackets, and looks back at Hedman and says, "I was in Boston last year." It was just, I don't know, maybe he had to be there. It was pretty funny though. And then Hedman just turned it and skated away. Next game, the Pittsburgh Penguins lose 3-1 to the New York Islanders. I don't think Pittsburgh's in trouble here because they did play a better game. Some of their stars had a better game in this one too, even though they didn't get on the scoreboard. But they are going back to Pittsburgh. And if there's anyone who can grind themselves out of this, it's the Penguins, right? So, in any case, what else can I say about this game before we get started with some of the statistics? This was nasty. This was another nasty game. The Tampa Bay got really nasty at the end, and so did this one. So they fought for every square inch of ice in this one. Let's get on to the statistics, starting with goaltending. The win goes to Leonard, who stopped 32 with 33 shots, a .970 percentage. Again, he was amazing. He stopped everything that he saw, basically, and that's what Pittsburgh's got to do. Try and screen him more. Then the loss goes to Murray. He saves 31 of 34 with a .912 save percentage. Murray probably wants at least 1, maybe even 2 of these goals back in this game. If there's a difference right now, it's that some of Pittsburgh's elite stars aren't getting on the board, and it's the goaltending. It's got to tighten up, or they're going to go down 3-0. Team stats. Face-offs were 33-24 for the New York Islanders. The power play, Islanders go 1 for 6. They had 6 opportunities, 6 power plays, and they kind of barely nudged out this game. And it was still, 3-1, but it was a close game. Pittsburgh goes 0 for 2. Not many opportunities, but they're 5th overall in the regular season on the power play. That's got to wake up. You got to at least pot in 1 a game, especially at a tight checking team like the Islanders here. Hits were 41-35 for the Islanders, and of course Pittsburgh was number 1 in hits all season long. And shots were 34-33 for New York. Let's jump into the scoring really quickly here. First period, no goals. Second period, Gudbranson. So Pittsburgh gets on the board first, and Malkin gets the assist on that. Good news for Pittsburgh. We didn't know if Gudbranson was even going to play this game because he got injured. I can't remember if he fell awkwardly in the last game or what, but he's back. New York ties it up. Beauvillier gets this one, assisted by Barzal and Eberle. And this is almost, I want to say, not even a minute and a half later after Pittsburgh scores that first goal. And of course, the Barclays Center just erupted, and then the momentum just carried them forward. Pittsburgh didn't give up though, but in the third period, the Islanders go up 2-1 on a goal from Eberle, who gets his second of the playoffs, second point of the game, assisted by Barzal, who gets his second point of the game as well, and Boychuk. Eberle and Barzal are just killing the Penguins right now. they've got to do something about those two. Then New York goes up 3-1 on a goal from Bailey. His second of the playoffs on the power play, assisted by Lee and Taves. I don't have the stat in front of me, but I think Pittsburgh is one of the most penalized teams in the league, and they got to clamp down on that. Six opportunities you give New York, and they score on that last one. Otherwise, it's a 2-1 game. Stars of the game. All of them are New York Islanders. First one is Eberle with a goal and an assist. He was a +2, played just over 15 minutes of ice time. Then second was Barzal, who had 2 apples, 4 penalty minutes, was a +2, and played just over 15 minutes as well. And then, of course, Leonard gets that number 3 star. He saved 32 of 33, .970 save percentage, and now he's 2-0 in the playoffs. Next game. St. Louis Blues beat the Winnipeg Jets again. What can I say about this game to wrap it in a little bit of a bow? Connor Hellebuyck lets in probably two goals he wants back in this one. And that happened in the last game as well. And that could have been the game right there, because the momentum shifts went back and forth, as I'll show you in just a second. What else is there to say about that? Because there was a lot of good things that happened in this game that similarly happened in the last game for Winnipeg, because Laine scored again. Their captain scored. Byfuglien got on the score sheet a couple of times, although he had a kind of a porous defensive game. They have to tighten up their defensive coverage in their own zone. Let's get to some of the stats, starting with the goaltending. The win goes to Binnington, who saves 26 of 29 with a .897 save percentage. Neither of the goalie statistics look good after this one. And Binnington probably let in one goal he might have wanted back in this one as well. It was shot from the right circle, and it went to the far sort of left post. And Hellebuyck let in a similar goal like that. And in any case, he got the loss. He stopped 28 of 32 with a .875 save percentage. Winnipeg's got to put more shots on Binnington. This is a rookie goalie in his first playoffs. You got to pepper him, especially in the first period. That's one thing I stopped doing, which I should start again, which is laying out the shots per period. Note to self. Team stats, let's talk about that. Face-offs were 34-30 for Winnipeg. Power play, 2 for 3. Winnipeg went 2 for 3. They're winning the special teams battle because St. Louis went 0 for 4 in the power play, and they still lost that game. Goaltending. The hits were 32-25 for Winnipeg, and the shots were 32-29 for St. Louis. Let's quickly go through the scoring. The first period, the Blues get on the board first. It's 1-0. Sundqvist gets his first of the playoffs, assisted by Bouwmeester and Schwartz. Jets took a couple of bad penalties in the first, and although that wasn't a power play goal, it sort of led to that. And then Wheeler scores. He ties up the game, assisted by Scheifele and Kopp. Then we go into the second period, and Winnipeg's got the momentum with him. Laine, there you have it. He scores his second goal of the playoffs. Everything is great, and that was on the power play, assisted by Wheeler, who gets the second point of the game, and Byfuglien. Byfuglien is really kind of, because their power play was a little stale during the last, 15 games of the regular season for the Jets, and Byfuglien coming back into it has sort of indirectly almost given it some more life. So he gets an assist on that power play goal as well. Then St. Louis ties it up. St. Louis just played a very calm game. Every one of their players, the whole team, they're like, every time they went down, they're like, it's okay, it's all right. And a perfect example of that was Ryan O'Reilly, who later scores the game winner. But I digress. Maroon ties up the game in the second. He gets his first of the playoffs, assisted by Thomas and Pietrangelo, and then St. Louis goes ahead. Sundqvist gets his second goal of the game. This is all 5-on-5. This is another thing. They're beating Winnipeg 5-on-5. And that goal was assisted by Perron and Edmondson. Jets come back again. They tie it up. The whole place erupts. Scheifele gets his second point of the night, first of the playoffs. On the power play, assisted by Connor and Byfuglien, who gets his second point of the night. We go into the third, and when was this scored? Maybe halfway through the period, I want to say. O'Reilly gets this one, and he's been working hard all game. And it's kind of justly that he gets this game winner here. His first of the playoffs, assisted by Shen and Peryenko. The 3 stars of the night did not show up on this board as of the recording of this video, so I made up my own. The first star I gave to Sundqvist, who had 2 goals. It was a +2 and played just about 14 and a half or so minutes on the night. Second star I gave to O'Reilly, who got the game winner for St. Louis with a goal, 2 penalty minutes, and played almost 23 minutes in this game. Those are like defenseman minutes. This guy is also one of the best face-off players in the league, and I'm not sure if his numbers are big enough for it, but he should be in that Selke talk. He's just good at both ends of the ice, and he's, whenever they're in the defensive zone and it's an important face-off, O'Reilly is there. So he does everything for them. Third star I give to the captain on the Jets, Wheeler, who got a goal and an assist. He was a -1 on the game, though, and he played almost 22 minutes in this game. That was pretty high as well. Let's talk about the last game of the night, which was the Vegas Golden Knights beating the San Jose Sharks 5-3. Yeah. This was also a very nasty game, and of course it got even worse at the very end after the whistle, in which you may have guessed it, Evander Kane was involved. Now, this game had everything. This game had a huge comeback. It had questionable calls. It didn't have a fight per se, but there was a lot of fists thrown around in this one. There was a lot of hits. What else can I say? There was good goaltending. There was porous goaltending. San Jose goaltending was really questionable coming into this, and it was really exploited in this one. Vegas knew they had to get to Jones in the first period and fast before he could build his confidence, because they didn't get to him until maybe the third period in the last game. This one, no. They went up 3-0 right away, and then in the span of about 3 minutes, he gets pulled. Dr. Jones gets pulled for Aaron Dell, who had a decent game but still got the loss because San Jose came back and scored 3 within 3 minutes. And so they went into the second period being tied. It was a new game. And then San Jose still lost this one. So you can't completely blame this on Jones because, hey, Vegas outscored them from then on, right? And Dell played an okay game. But, yeah, let's get into the stats here, starting with goaltending. Fleury gets the win in this one. He saves 34 of 37, has a .91 save percentage. He made some pretty amazing saves all night long, really. But even he let in probably one he would have wanted back. Dell takes the loss after he comes in for Martin Jones. As I just mentioned, he saves 14 of 16 with a .875 save percentage. San Jose's got a goaltending controversy on their hands, and I would not be surprised at all if they threw Dell in the next game. Maybe not. Maybe they do start Jones, but they're going to give him probably a very short leash. Leash? Not a leash. They're not going to give Jones a leash. Leash. Very short leash. Let's talk about team stats. Faceoffs were 34-31 for San Jose. Power play. San Jose went 1 for 8 on the power play, and Vegas went 1 for 3. They had 8 opportunities. So, I mean, they had a call go against them in the third period, I want to say, in which Logan Couture had his back to Fleury. Both of them were in the out of the blue paint, including Fleury, and of course Fleury bumps into him, does something a bit theatrical, and I like Fleury, but and then Vegas scores, a second later. That goal should have counted, because then they end up giving Couture a penalty for that, and they couldn't review it because there was a penalty on the play, so they couldn't go back to Toronto and blah, 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 and I don't know the specifics of why or how that rule works, but yeah, that should have been a San Jose goal. And at that point, they would have gone ahead in the game 4-3. I believe that was, yeah. Oh, yeah, because that was in the second period. Excuse me. Yeah, before Vegas scored the fourth goal. And who knows, that could have changed the whole wave, the momentum of the game because of it. But still, San Jose had chances. They had 8 power play opportunities. And during the regular season, they were 6th overall in the league on the power play. So they got no one else to blame but themselves in that one. Hits were 46-31 for San Jose. Shots were 37-23 for San Jose. So it's not that like San Jose didn't limit Vegas's opportunities, but they did give up a couple of odd man rushes, which of course led to goals. But from where the shots were taken, still Jones should have had at least 2 of the 3 goals that he let in. So, anyways, take that for what it's worth. Let's quickly go over the scoring. Look at this first period. Oh boy. Vegas gets on the board first. Eakin scores his first, assisted by Pacioretty. Then they go up 2-0 on a goal from Miller. Short-handed. I think Vegas scored 2 short-handed goals. So not only did San Jose miss out on all those 8 opportunities, but they let in 2 short-handed goals. Vegas then goes ahead 3-0 on a goal from Pacioretty, his first of the playoffs, assisted by Stastny, and then cue the comeback. Within 2-3 minutes, San Jose ties this game. And you could feel the wave. Even though Vegas was going ahead, San Jose was playing a better game than they were. So Couture gets the first one to make it 3-1, assisted by Pavelski, and, I had a burp or a hiccup, I don't know what it was. It's Gath. And Erik Karlsson, then it's 3-2 on a goal from Hertl, his second of the playoffs on the power play, their only power play goal, assisted by Karlsson and Couture, and then Thornton. Who else than Thornton to tie up this game on a wicked, beautiful deflection? He gets his first of the playoffs, assisted by Dillon and Kane. Why do I have Kane with a C there? That's got to be Kane with a K. It's not Sugar Kane, it's Evander Kane. Second period. So this is when that goal got disallowed. I'm going to say earlier on in the second, I think. I'm pretty sure. And then they got the penalty, and then this is the power play Vegas scores on. So to add insult to injury on this. So that just changed the momentum because San Jose had it. And so that was you gotta, I don't want to rank on the refs, but that's a big one. The ref really changed the momentum in that. Anyway, Stone gets his third goal already in the playoffs on the power play, assisted by Stastny, who gets the second point of the game, and is also assisted by Tuch. And in the third period, final nail goes in. Vegas makes it 5-3. Karlsson gets a short-handed goal, assisted by Smith and Schmidt. And there you have it, the 3 stars of the game. Number 1 was Marc-Andre Fleury, who stopped 34-37 with a .919 save percentage. He's now 1-1 in the playoffs. Second star went to Logan Couture, who had 1 goal and 1 apple with 2 penalty minutes, was a -2 on the night. I think the entire San Jose team was minus on this night. And he played over 20 minutes of ice time. Had over 20 minutes of ice time. Third star of the game was Stastny, who had 2 assists, was +2, and played just under 16 minutes in this game. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions about these games, especially that call on the ref, the bad ref. Well, what I think, you look at the replay, Fleury was out of the blue paint. He was in the white. Let me know what you think of that call in any case. And anything you have else to say about those other games. Now, the nasty ones were Vegas and San Jose and Tampa and Columbus and New York and the Islanders and the Penguins. But, there was still some rough stuff in the Jets Blues game. But, take a look. And if you like this video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, smash that subscribe button. And if you happen to have any hockey geek friends, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.